From young adulthood, Charles encouraged understanding of indigenous voices, claiming they held crucial messages about preservation of the land, respecting community and shared values, resolving conflict, and recognizing and making good on past inequities. Charles dovetailed this view with his efforts against climate change, as well as reconciliation between indigenous and non-indigenous peoples, and his charitable work in Canada. At CHOGM 2022, Charles, who was representing the Queen, raised that reconciliation process is an example for dealing with the history of slavery in the British Empire, for which he expressed his sorrow. Letters sent by Charles to government ministers in 2004 and 2005 expressing his concerns over various policy issues, the so-called Black Spider memos, presented potential embarrassment. Following a challenge by the Guardian newspaper to release the letters under the Freedom of Information Act 2000. In March 2015, the Supreme Court of the United Kingdom decided that Charles' letters must be released in the letters were published by the Cabinet Office on 13 May. The reaction was largely supportive of Charles, with little criticism of him. The press variously described the memos as underwhelming and harmless, and concluded that their release had backfired on those who seek to belittle him. It was revealed in the same year that Charles had access to confidential cabinet papers. In October 2020, a letter sent by Charles to Australian Governor-General John Kerr, after Kerr's dismissal of Prime Minister Gough Whitlam in 1975, was released as part of the collection of palace letters regarding the Australian constitutional crisis. In the letter, Charles was supportive of Kerr's decision, writing that what Kerr did last year was right and the courageous thing to do. The Times reported in June 2022 that Charles had privately described the British government's Rwanda asylum plan as appalling, and he feared that it would overshadow the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Rwanda that same month. It was later claimed that cabinet ministers had warned Charles to avoid making political comments, as they feared a constitutional crisis could arise if he continued to make such statements once he became king.